Columbus, Ohio, the place to be, with a chance to go to the Sweet 16. What a time to be alive. The 6 seed Notre Dame, the 3 seed Ohio State, in a matchup with all the cachet you could possibly want at this hour in the NCAA tournament.
Their team's defense. You're going to see both defenses on these teams really getting after it.
Buckeyes hosting here in Columbus once again underway. Cambridge connects right from the jump.
I'm not sure there's a better way to start the ball game for Jelani Cambridge than that action right there.
First touch for Notre Dame. Irish 12-6 in the ACC. On the road here in Columbus, Neo Ivy, 4 straight seasons reaching the Sweet 16. Iyana Moore outside to Prosper. Bounce pass to Coles, rejected by Lemila. Kennedy Cambridge inside to Lemila. And the bucket as you take a look at the starting 5 for the Buckeyes.
And that's something Notre Dame's going to have to really do a good job keeping their poise against it.
Starting 5 for the Irish, led by Hidalgo. Iyana Moore put up big numbers from 3 in their opening round win against Fairfield. Cambridge starts on fire. And just like that, it's 6-0.
Well, no question, Jelani Cambridge is locked and loaded right now on both ends of the floor.
Moore off the pump fake. Back iron. Buckeyes corral it. That's Kennedy Cambridge. What a start for the home team. Jelani. That's a 3.
Well, you know that there's going to be a timeout. That is too fast of a start.
4 for 4. She's got 7 of Ohio State's 9 points. Wake-up call for Notre Dame early. Winner of this one goes to the Sweet 16. And here come the Irish. Little contact, no whistle. Moore hit the deck. Lemmy lost some contact to spin. Kennedy Cambridge with a bounce.
She's joining the party that her sister started. We'll see how long that goes.
That was a concern for you coming into this game to see how this game would be officiated.
You're right, because you want players to be able to play.
Coles tracks down her own miss. Moore left open for 3. Dangerous from outside, and she demonstrates why. Jelani Cambridge penetrating mid-range. Remains perfect with 9.
You know, it's really tough. These ball screens, Notre Dame's going under ball screens on Cambridge. The problem becomes she's a really good pull-up jump shooter. So decisions are going to have to be made. How do we affect her getting downhill off a screen?
Buckeyes pressure, having an impact. Moore is as well her second triple.
Boy, that's a big, huge shot for Notre Dame right now. Moore is coming in hot.
And a steal. Hidalgo poked it free. Prosper off the bounce with the spin. And the finish.
Beautiful move. Much better defense right there on Cambridge because Prosper is big. She's got size to bother Cambridge.
Shot clock at 2. Cambridge off the front rim. Hidalgo on the move. Moore gets it again. Too strong that time. And Watson, a crafty maneuver and maintain possession. Chance Gray. Foul.
I mean, that's big-time basketball right there.
Big-time bucket. Lead down to 5. Gray at the stripe.
Iyana Moore, boy, Notre Dame, that couldn't have been more timely with those 3-point shots right there to keep them right here close in this game.
You and I talked yesterday, watching both teams practice a final time here in Columbus, about X factors. And one of the points that we hit on was Iyana Moore and Chance Gray. Could they be X factors in this game shooting the 3? Put back by Sanchez, 15-10.
Yeah, 3-point shooters are definitely X factors because their shots, 3s are like daggers. When you hit them, especially when you have to have them, they hit differently when you make them.
Steal number 3, Hannah Hidalgo, the defensive player of the year in the ACC. Back-to-back years, and she shows you why.
It's hers. Give it to me. Give it back.
Lemila from 16 connects. Check it, it was Kylie Kitts. That'll stop a 9-2 run. We didn't see her a lot in the first win against Howard for the Buckeyes just 48 hours ago. Hidalgo's shot rejected by Kennedy Cambridge. Ahead to Gray. in Cambridge, one of the top defenders in the Big Ten this season.
You know, you've got 4 guards and then Kitts on the floor, who really is a guard, even at 6'4".
Sanchez was rejected in traffic. Cambridge the other way now. KK Bransford checks in, delivers the outlet pass. Easy money for Hidalgo.
They've been getting up and down at a really strong pace.
Ava Watson, short. Good back box out by Sanchez, and now Hidalgo weaving through traffic. Behind the back, Hannah. Tapped back in by Ohio State.
That's just players playing hard, Roy. You just got to give it to her. She's working. She's trying to get the rebound. Things happen.
2 teams playing aggressive basketball without fouling. Watson. She'll get it back, corner 3. That's good. What we've seen in the first 8.5 minutes is how basketball should be played.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Hidalgo open. Connects. That's a long 2.
Very well executed baseline out of bounds play.
Under a minute to go.
I like that shot, Roy. I like it when you're in rhythm and transition. That's a good shot.
And an offensive foul.
Good call right there. That's the one thing post players have to just be really cognizant of. Don't sling that hip out there. You're going to get it. You're going to get the call.
First foul called against the Buckeyes. The Irish only with 1 personal foul at this point as well. Shot clock is off. The end of a breathtaking first quarter. Hidalgo split the defenders. Great look inside to KK Bransford.
Beautiful play. Hidalgo just really heads up play right there. Beautifully executed last into the quarter play.
10 minutes in, the lead is 2 for the Buckeyes. Impressive to start, and that only tells part of the story with Hidalgo. 3 first quarter steals. She averages 5 per game. Bransford with position, no. Prosper tracks down the rebound.
Great O-board by Prosper, and those are important in games like this. You want those extra possessions because, boy, scoring is hard to come by against this defense.
Hidalgo, the nasty crossover, the step back mid-range. Here's Cambridge. Double figures now with 11.
You know, love how she read the defense. There were 2 defenders in front of her, so she chose the pull-up. Very confident in that little 5-foot pull-up jumper.
Bransford, healthy knee, connects.
She's been a great addition back after she had to sit during the middle of the conference season. Big difference maker.
Watson on the reverse, no.
See, the pace has kind of slowed a little bit now, Roy. Now we're in the second quarter. All the jitters are out. Now they're just sizing each other up.
This is the matchup to watch. Hidalgo and Cambridge. The spin, and inside, we are tied for the first time since this game began. Cambridge, the hot hand, steps inside the three-point arc, and the shot clock at 10. Turns it over to Jesus. 1-on-2 the other way. Notre Dame with its first lead.
This is difference-making with Cass Prosper guarding. UCLA did it in the Big Ten tournament with Lauren Betts. It gave Cambridge problems.
Ohio State, before that shot, shooting 63% and finds itself down by 2.
It's going to be like this the whole game. They're going to go back and forth. These are just 2 very good teams on both ends of the floor.
Pulls inside, Prosper somehow, someway. The Irish trailed by as many as 11 points.
Louisville having a really good day on the boards, and that's definitely needed for Ohio State.
And they needed that shot in the worst way. Cambridge with 13.
You know, you wonder how it affects Cambridge because that's her sister that went out with the fall on the floor. She knocks that shot down.
How about Cassandre Prosper? One-person press break.
Louisville having a really good day on the boards, and that's definitely needed for Ohio State.
And they needed that shot in the worst way. Cambridge with 13.
You know, you wonder how it affects Cambridge because that's her sister that went out with the fall on the floor. She knocks that shot down.
How about Cassandre Prosper? one-person press break.
She's playing really well today, and that's something that Notre Dame definitely needs out of her. Her game has grown. Not Jelani Cambridge. She went and got that ball.
High off the glass, high degree of difficulty, and a foul hitting the deck hard, trying to grab a rebound and trying to get around a Notre Dame post player. And we will see if she's able to give it a go at some point later on. Irish have it back. If you're just tuning in, they've trailed by as many as 11 points. A red-hot start by Ohio State. And a foul on the three-point attempt.
Contest it as hard as you can, but you can't foul them. You got to position yourself out of the way. And she tried, but you just didn't. You got to do a better job than that.
I'm not blowing the whistle there. I mean, that's a bang, bang. I mean, it's clearly a subjective issue at that point in time, and you understand why they did. But a women's championship game is on the networks of ESPN. The second round concludes tonight. The Sweet 16 beginning on Friday. For more information, go to NCAA.com.
You knocked her down, and you got to call it. So she tried to get out of the way, but whatever. But hey, the bigger news is Kennedy Cambridge is back on the floor, so that's good for Ohio State.
Buckeyes need her, and that defense trailing by 7. It's been an 18-point swing in momentum. Lemila connects down low.
Boy, if they can start getting that action out of Lemila right there, that's really good for Ohio State.
She had 3 points in the opening win against Howard. Off the turnover. Gray to nobody. Sanchez picked it off easily. And Hidalgo turns it over.
Both teams trying to get back to that fast pace that we saw in the first quarter. And now we get an and one right there for Ohio State. Both of these teams, again, Roy, we just know how big this game, the importance, the stakes of this game that are happening. Gets the and one right there.
Second foul on Iyana Moore. Hit 2 big threes early in this one for the Irish. And Gray at the stripe, 88% this year. A 7-point lead moments ago, now has been sliced to 2. Coach, you called it a game of runs. That's exactly what we've seen so far.
No question. And the defense is the one thing that both of these teams are relying on, trying to get the steals, deflections, so they can push pace.
Bransford now with 8. Lead back to 4. Cambridge thought about it. Right side of the paint. Up and under. Inside and good.
She's back, Roy. She is back. Kennedy Cambridge.
That's one way to do it. Cambridge sisters. Basketball family. It has showed up today in Columbus once again. Shot was short. Prosper on the way up.
Contact in there. The call is a good one.
Cassandre Prosper out of Montreal. Graduate student and most improved player in the ACC. Already 7 points and 3 boards.
Yeah, she's having a really nice day, really. And this is something Notre Dame needs out of her. She needs to play big and strong. That's an advantage to the offense if you let it go. Now
the 6-3 matchup has produced some thrilling finishes these last 24 hours. Could that be the case again here today in Columbus? Lemila collects and delivers.
That's what Ohio State needs more of, that little pick and roll in the middle of the floor. Ava Watson makes a really nice decision on when to deliver the ball.
Hidalgo, no. Lemila called for the foul. With Nell Fortner, Roy Philpott, Notre Dame, and Ohio State in a matchup with all the cachet you could possibly hope for. And a back-and-forth affair to start.
Well, no, she's a junior this year. That's right. But one of the really good point guards in the country, were loaded with them this year.
Chance Gray off the mark. Cleared by KK Bransford. Now healthy with that right knee. She's made a huge impact for Notre Dame in its late season surge.
They needed her to come back. She's a stabilizing force, experience on this Notre Dame team. Can nail some nice shots from the outside.
Big moment, Hidalgo inside. And Hannah Hidalgo in double figures with 10, the ACC Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year.
It's so competitive. It's hard to stop Hidalgo. Well, there is no stopping Hidalgo.
And a sandwich screen. The foul's going to be called on Lemila, and that's her second. Lead back to 6 for the Irish. Big possessions here at the end of the half. De Jesus against Kennedy Cambridge, sister of Jelani, and a foul on the left side of the paint. 13 points so far. Hidalgo has matched her with 10 of her own, and the Irish with an 8-0 burst in this quarter now lead by 7.
Remember, we were talking, what is it, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds?
That's fast.
That's this game. That is this game. Hidalgo is just like a little gnat out there. She is so pesky trying to get the ball.
Buckle up here. Cambridge against Hidalgo. Good on good. Step back, Jay. Hidalgo wins that battle. And Notre Dame with an 8-point advantage 20 minutes in here in Columbus. To the Lady Vols. Notre Dame, as you saw in the graphic, attempting for 5 consecutive Sweet 16s, all under head coach Neil Ivey's direction. Third quarter underway. Buckeyes have it first. Kennedy Cambridge is healthy from 15. She'll get back her own miss against Hidalgo. On the deck to save the possession. Can't do it.
A lot of contact in that play right there. But again, the officials letting him play.
Take a look at our lineups on the floor. Brought to you by Capital One. And for the Fighting Irish, connecting after the 3 by De Jesus. For the Buckeyes, they're 5 on the floor, brought to you by Capital One. Kennedy Cambridge, first team all Big Ten, second leading scorer in the conference with 13 at the break.
I mean, Ohio State has to do the same thing. Give themselves extra.
Brought to you by Wendy's. High-octane is the phrase between 2 All-American point guards, Hidalgo and Cambridge.
Notre Dame slowing it down, running a little half-court offense, and they like to run some set plays within this offense.
De Jesus again, not this time. Coles on the offensive glass. Iyana Moore driving. Iyana Moore finishing.
You see how she used her body to shield off Ava Watson?
2 huge threes to start the scoring for Notre Dame, trailing 11-0 early. Jelani Cambridge, no. Hidalgo stolen away from Lemila.
She loves going after a rebound. A player rebounds the ball. She's in there trying to grab it before they have time to think.
Euro from the free throw line connects with a mid-range.
She's on fuego right now, Roy. Got to call a timeout. Got to try to cool her down. Extremely tight, bonded groups of people because you work so hard together. Long days, late nights, stressful games. So the bond between coaching staffs is incredibly important, and it runs deep.
Out of the timeout, Jelani Cambridge misses the 3. Notre Dame gets it back with its largest lead at 13. On a 13-2 run since the Buckeyes cut that lead down to 2 late in the first half. It's been a different game since then. Cassandre Prosper against the smaller Cambridge. Prosper goes to work, double-teamed, and fell down. Lob ahead to Kennedy Cambridge. Lemila.
Oh, way to follow Lemila right there.
They'll set up their offense with 18 on the clock.
That's right. We didn't see a whole lot of it in the second quarter, and they've got to get back to that. It's who they are, but you've got to score in order to get it set.
And the lob out of bounds.
Being used a little more today, and she's coming through for him. But she's a good rebounder, but that size is difference-making for Ohio State.
Cambridge for 3 and a big-time bucket. Wild shot, Cambridge clears. Cambridge against Hidalgo. And a late whistle comes in. Cambridge hit the deck hard.
I'm sorry, Cambridge gets free on the perimeter right here. You went under the screen, and you go under the screen to take away her downhill drive.
It's the 3rd foul on Moore. She's had some big shots already today.
We need to put a stopwatch on Jelani Cambridge and how fast she gets from one end of the floor to the other. It's got to be, it doesn't take long.
Well, both Jelani and Hannah spent part of last summer trying out for Team USA's senior team America Cup roster.
Players trying to make plays out here, Roy, and that's just competition.
Welcome to the round of 32. Bransford, no. Jelani Cambridge skies for the board. Big possession here for the Buckeyes. A chance to make it a 1-possession game. And Ava Watson does exactly that, and now a 10-0 run. Game of runs. The Buckeyes started out on fire, leading Notre Dame 11-0. Back in the early stages of our first quarter, Irish rallied, led by Hannah Hidalgo. And now Ohio State has punched back. Hidalgo double teamed off the trap. Cassandre Prosper to the rack. Finds a way. And a chance for three.
I think Prosper is having one of her best days today. She is playing so confident. That's the most impressive thing, is to finish. Look at her going strong to the basket, focusing on the finish. Gets the and one. I love that.
Coach, that ball hit the rim on the way up and then dropped. And maybe it's going to be Notre Dame's night when you make shots like that while she was being fouled.
Well, they do have the luck of the Irish.
Third foul on Limila. Well said by you. Lead back to 5. Certainly nothing lucky about this roster that gained close to full strength health starting on February 1st. Return of KK Bransford. Pitch rejected out of bounds.
To get the stop, and again, Prosper guarding Cambridge, making it difficult for her to have vision and see around her. And then she gets back on the play right here for the block on Kylie Kitts. That's staying locked in.
Shot clock winding down. Watson, no. Hidalgo claims the rebound. Knocks over Cambridge in the process. Will start stop Hidalgo to floater. That's her game.
That is, she likes that floater as opposed to taking it and finishing hard at the rim. She's really, really accurate in her 2-point field goal percentage.
And coach, that release is high at her size. Cambridge, the response! What a play!
Going up against Prosper right here. That's 6'2" again, going against her. It's a contest. She's looking for the finish and the and one. She's not just shooting the ball, Roy, just to shoot it. Hey, I hope I get the foul and get. No, she wants 3 points on the play, not just 2.
Now with 20 in the game, was holding her hand and kind of wincing a little bit after she fell down to the deck. Impressive play to lead back to 4.
Again, the press is set. And this is what that press does.
Cambridge with a little English on the end off the window.
Beautiful. That takes time. That takes just, being a player in the gym a lot to figure that shot out. Just right off the back of the rim. That one was off glass. We'll slow it down for a moment. Hidalgo off 1 foot. Oh, the swipe. And a foul called as Jelani Cambridge fell down again. Fish gets directly in front of the ball handler and tries to swipe it on the side right here, but clips her with her leg and ends up tripping Jelani.
Third foul, number 3, Hannah Hidalgo.
What a comeback, a run by Ohio State. Just never giving up.
And True TV for tournament game times and networks. Go to NCAA.com. Short. Lead remains 1 for the Irish. 10 points, 4 boards, a couple of dimes today. Pillar of stability. Hidalgo, Bransford for 3.
Forget it. They have no memory. So right now, KK Bransford, it's a good look. Move on.
That helps in broadcasting at times, too.
That's right.
Cambridge picked up by Hidalgo. Hannah's got to be careful with the 3 fouls. Gray launching. And Hidalgo, the leaping rebound, her 7th.
Such a good rebounding guard. That's a luxury to have also.
Coach, she defines toughness and a pure score as well.
She saw an opening and she took it.
Cambridge against Hidalgo, retreats. And right over the outstretched arms of Limila, Notre Dame has it.
I like this right now. De Jesus, with her on the floor, she can get the ball out of Hidalgo's hands. Give her a little rest here, because if you're going to rest, you rest on the offensive end. You don't rest on the defensive end.
When maybe the first time I can recall seeing Hannah Hidalgo with deep breaths. Rarely is she challenged the way that she is tonight. De Jesus, Bransford. And a foul was called right as the shot clock. Chance to extend the lead. Bransford with 9 points.
Again, this free throw line is going to become important. It has been already in this half.
13-point lead for Notre Dame earlier in this third quarter. An 8-point advantage at halftime. Critical for the Buckeyes to finish this third quarter in strong fashion. Cambridge will do that with a chance at the free throw line. We asked her, what did you learn last year in the dance? And she said it's one and done. It's now or never. You got to play your very best to make it to the Sweet 16. 9 of 17 from the floor with 5 rebounds.
Yeah, she's so much improved from last year. Much more mature.
Hidalgo, ball on a string. Right side of the paint, too strong. She'll track it down. Stepped out of bounds, though.
Out of bounds right there, but it's that relentlessness makes a huge difference in the player that she is.
Big possession at the end of the third quarter. Cambridge weaving her way through traffic. Now baseline. Stepped out of bounds on this end.
But yeah, definitely out of bounds. De Jesus, great job defending that play.
Shot clock is off. Hidalgo wanted the foul. No whistle. An 8-point lead at halftime for the Irish. Putting up huge numbers again versus Jelani Cambridge, a second-team AP All-American as well in the Buckeyes' backcourt. Irish have it first to start our fourth quarter.
You know, Notre Dame's done it. They've got 3 new players on the floor with Hidalgo and Cassandre. You know, they lost several players last year. This is going to go down to the line.
Cambridge with a mid-range, a step inside the three-point arc. Shot clock at 2. More up and under and not in time.
Really nice defensive series right there.
Kennedy Cambridge picked up the dribble. Dangerous bounce pass right in the breadbasket of Hidalgo. And that is what she does.
Okay, you see Notre Dame purposely slowing the ball down right now.
De Jesus, corner 3, and it's all net.
And that's exactly why. You're going to try to put the ball, move the ball.
We await that one, as well as the finish here. Nell Fortner-Roy Philpott in Columbus. And Vanessa de Jesus, the 3 moments ago, now with 13, nearly a steal. Buckeyes need a basket. Hidalgo the swipe. Steal number 6.
It's really amazing to watch her operate on the defensive end because it's like she has a specific man to guard, but then she has the freedom to go after the ball.
And a chance for 3. Hannah Hidalgo does it all.
Her prowess on the defensive end, but her finish on the offensive end. We've seen this all year long, though. The contact.
It's almost as if she feeds off of the contact, the steals, and it energizes her on the offensive end, as well as the entire Notre Dame team.
Yeah, she's ultra competitive, and it's like there's just nothing in front of her that's going to stop her. Her focus is phenomenal.
First meeting in the postseason between these two teams since 2017. Off the screen, and a foul called. Chance Gray.
An opportunity for 2.
Buckeyes had a shot last year. They defeated the Lady Vols in the second round. Here at the shot, and they advanced to the Sweet 16 2 seasons ago. That same opportunity against upstart Duke.
It just helped them so much, and probably one of the biggest places was in their depth to be able to play more people off the bench, but also her experience.
A couple of slow possessions now consecutively for Notre Dame. Shot clock down to 5. Hidalgo contested 3. Oh, it's good!
Let her go make a play. But they're using the clock as much as they can. And look, we saw that the other night, just drawing rain that thing so high up there.
That's a rainbow shot. Buckeyes down 11. Gotta go. Cambridge on De Jesus will shoot 2. Cambridge at the stripe, 27 round of 32 matchup. And with that free throw now, with 800 points in a season, joining only Kelsey Mitchell. There's only 2 players for the Buckeyes. And off to the right side. Lead remains at 10. Buckeyes in search of a couple of stops. Notre Dame taking its time. Cole's trying to spot Hidalgo. Backdoor cut. Hidalgo, the reverse. And about the only shot she hasn't made in the second half, but she was fouled. 84% at the line for Hidalgo. 2 of 3 today. With all the stats, all the steals, she's tied her career high this evening in rebounds. That is a want-to and a desire to be great.
It doesn't matter how tall you are in the sport of basketball. How big is your heart? Is it passionate? Hers is. Does all those things.
3 minutes to go. Winner advances to the Sweet 16, and a turnover. Pitt sails the pass out of bounds. The Irish have been the better team thus far, and the score shows that.
It's experience in your point guard with Hannah Hidalgo, knowing how to lead this team. And I think they've gotten some really good play out of other players. And there's one right there. Cass Prosper for the and one.
72-59. Cassandre Prosper. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Give her 13 with the bounce. And Ohio State now facing its largest deficit. Another steal, Hidalgo. Her 8th. All heart. All speed. This is the kind of player you have to do it.
Well, this is a player that can lead you there for sure. The way she plays, not just her skill, although that is outstanding. It is the energy she plays the game with that every teammate on this Notre Dame team can draw from. It makes them want to play harder.
Outscoring the Buckeyes 21-6 to seize control in a very impressive way. Lemmy Law bumps.
They were pushing tempo today in a big way.
Well, they haven't backed down with Ohio State's full court pressure, that's for sure. The Irish and its defense have showed up. Big part of that, Hidalgo with those steals. And closing in on a triple-double with 2 more thieveries. She's got 13 rebounds, a new career high, and the 24 points. Jesus to the ground, kept her dribble alive. And the jump ball, they'll give it back to the Buckeyes. And Neil Ivy's team, it has been a roller coaster run this year. Up and down, injuries, tough schedule in January. Cambridge blocked by Coles. And Jelani with a crossover delivers the triple.
It's a big 3. They want to look at you and grip the soul out of your body. That's how they play the game. And it's really fun to coach. You don't teach a player relentlessness. You can't do it because that's a behavior. That's something that just comes and burns from deep inside. And when it gets cut loose on a basketball court or maybe a football field or I don't know, maybe a track.
Her life consists of school and ball. To get away, she'll take long drives. That's about it, and that's one of the aspects that Neil Ivy loves most about her superstar point guard. She's all business. Cambridge, not to get lost in this game.
How many great point guards are in our country right now? You can just go down the list. I think I listed 15 today when I was writing them down. The game is at such a high level right now, Roy, that next weekend's Sweet 16, Elite 8s are going to be crazy.
And Fort Worth and Sacramento.
In a place of just, I'm not sure there's a better player in the country, and we're sitting here watching Hidalgo do what she does. Sarah Strong at about 6'1", and can play every position on the floor.
Kennedy Cambridge just fouled out. You know, the emotions of March, and then appeared to be okay.
She's had a bit of a breakthrough season, in my opinion. Just she accepted her role of being the defensive stopper, And she did it. She dialed in and locked in on that and just has done a phenomenal job. Does the job also on that end.
Remember, too, the winner of this game gets the winner of Vanderbilt and Illinois next week in the Sweet 16 in Fort Worth. Notre Dame still has some work to do, but a 14-point lead and now possession. Potentially, Coach, you could see Hannah Hidalgo, Michaela Blakes. And I just want to set the table.
There's so many great teams this year. So many players. Michaela Blakes, if you haven't seen her play, and you can tune in and watch her tonight, watch her, because she is something special out of the SEC.
It's a 7 o'clock tip on ESPN2. Vanderbilt and Illinois. 7 versus the 2. Under a minute to play. Cambridge to Watson, in front of Hidalgo. And Coles claims the rebound, was shoved by Kitts. 41.1 seconds remaining.
And you said the word, protect your roster. Retain your roster. It's just, it's different now. You don't go rest. You don't go on vacation if you're a coach. Now you go to work. And you have to work to look at the portal. You have to work to retain your roster. It's just it's a different time.
No give up in Hidalgo. In contact against Cambridge. Remember, those two competed side by side as Hidalgo fouls out this past summer, trying out for Team USA. And a moment with her head coach. Those two as tight as you can imagine.
Important is that? It's so important. Niele Ivey won a national championship at Notre Dame as a point guard. That's what Hannah Hidalgo wants to do. That's why she's at Notre Dame, to learn from Niele, win a national championship.
All smiles on the Irish bench. Cambridge with 34. Gave it her absolute best today. Buckeyes will get the steal. We'll get you up to Storrs, Connecticut for UConn and Syracuse. That game already underway. Another 3. 83-70. Cambridge now with 38. Well, she had a 40-piece earlier this year against Minnesota. Back-to-back steals. Cambridge again. Give her 40 tonight. 41 on the board.
Okay, we got some juice in Ohio State right now.
Lead down to 10. Irish will break the pressure. Moore gets it to Prosper. Precious time ticking away. And the Buckeyes electing not to foul. Well, Jelani Cambridge ties a career high with 41. But Notre Dame flexing on the road in Columbus. And the Irish headed back to the Sweet 16 once again.
5 straight Sweet 16s for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That is so impressive, and that is not easy to do, as you can see. Hard to get to the Sweet 16 and beyond.